It's Wednesday morning here on MFTV, a good one if you're an Arsenal fan, a bad one if you're a Liverpool fan, and if you're a Rangers fan, well, there's always the Old Firm derby on Sunday. The Sun's got the headline of the day for me. The Arsh Assassin refers to yet another Andre Arshavin goal in Arsenal's 2-0 Champions League win over the Greek side Olympiakos. Arsenal had 22 shots on goal in that game, only managed to make the breakthrough 12 minutes from time through Robin van Persie. Arshavin capped a good night at the office with a second after that well-taken finish there. Arsene Wenger's men now got a 100% record in Group H, and they should now be fairly comfortably through to the knockout stages. Their next two games are home and away to AZ Alkmaar. Lower with the flows, the headline in the Mirror, Liverpool failing to score against the Italian side Fiorentina for the first time in 22 Champions League matches. Rafa Benitez called it their worst display in his reign. I don't know, Rafa, there's been quite a few. He'll be expecting a response in Sunday's Premier League game against Chelsea, and we will have reaction to that right here on MFTV on Monday morning. Now, I joked about Rangers earlier, but they show just why Scotland are out of the running for the World Cup. The SPL just too weak a league, and Celtic and Rangers need to test themselves in the Premier League if they want to make an impact in Europe. Rangers were crushed 4-1 by Sevilla last night, and although they were denied a Stonewall penalty, they were always second best to the Spanish side. Now, it's hard for your messages. Apologies for not getting through them on Monday, but a few of them here. Miko says Rafa is obviously prioritising the Premiership this season over the Champions League. It's win or bust for the guy this year, after all. Pitbull disagrees with Arsene Wenger saying last night that the win over Olympiakos vindicates his transfer policy. He says talk about setting your targets low to avoid disappointment. We've been talking about Arsenal's youngsters for years. Some of them are pensioners and still haven't made it. And Gordo's not impressed by Sir Alex Ferguson saying in today's papers that Wayne Rooney is right up there with the best strikers in the world. He says here, Wayne Rooney as good as Messi and Ronaldo. Keep taking the pills, Fergie. Back to the papers, and the Mail say that Fabio Capello is going to risk upsetting the managers of the leading Premier League clubs by picking his strongest possible squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifier against Ukraine, even though England have already qualified. And we've got one other message before we move on, actually, because Paul Murphy sent one, and he says, "Hi Darren and the MFTV team. I just want to know what was going on last week. Darren was away, he's standing, came in for him, that I can cope with, but he just keeps telling us to leave comments, and then when we leave them, he doesn't read them out. I can cope if Darren's away, but if we leave messages, we expect you either to read them out, or if you don't think they're worth a mention, not to. My other problem is that on 2 of the days last week, there was no show. One of them was on Thursday when we only got you, the manager, and I can cope with that. But then on Friday, there was no MFTV. Once is okay, twice is understandable, but 3 times, not very happy. Thanks, as always, from Paul Murphy." Thank you, Paul. We had a few problems last week, but we're back now every day, so we'll hope you keep watching. Now, a couple of very quick, cheeky stories to bring you. The Newcastle midfielder Jonas Gutierrez says he's scared to play in away games because defenders are horrible to him. He says in the Mail today, "I do feel targeted. That is why it is so important to play at home, because then we can play open football." Over in Spain, Cristiano Ronaldo under siege from a crazed priest who has sent a letter to the newspaper El Mundo Deportivo telling them that he has the former Manchester United player in his sights. One for the police, I think, there. And the Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Roman Weidenfeller was attacked while he was eating at an Italian restaurant. 5 men burst in throwing punches. He says here, they fought like savages against me. Fortunately, I was able to escape using my quick reflexes. Those reflexes don't appear to be helping his team, though. They've won just 1 game this season and are 15th in the Bundesliga table. Now, Football Spy might be a couple of months away, but there are still a few transfer tales floating around, so we thought we'd bring them to you today. The Hull boss Phil Brown's lining up a January move for Sol Campbell, but I fancy he might have to wait his turn, with Ipswich among the many clubs after the central defender. Arsene Wenger's after the young Atletico Madrid forward Keko. He's only 17, but they reckon he's a bit special. And Portsmouth have failed in their bid to bring Gary McAllister to the club as an assistant manager. They couldn't agree terms there. Now, yesterday, Alex, who stood in, showed you a clip of a very alternative trailer for Chelsea's game against Liverpool at the weekend. Lots of you liked it so much, you've been on the emails asking us to play some of it again, so here it is. We're hearing that Sky Sports are in touch with the actors in that trailer to do one for them. Now, one final story to bring you, and he might be finding goals hard to come by on the pitch, but Michael Owen is finding no problems scoring in the bedroom. He's about to become a dad for the 4th time. This story quotes someone saying that if he were to take his form from the bedroom onto the pitch, then he might well be on the plane to South Africa with England's World Cup squad next summer. We shall see. More MFTV for you tomorrow. Dan's back with you, the manager, and Zora FM. Mania TV is back on Friday too. I'll see you next time.